WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
It is Friday, May the 1st, 2026. Steve Moulton here with your update. In college baseball,
swing and he drills it high, straightaway center. Rigdon all the way back. Goodbye! John Lamb with a walk-off homer. Alabama wins night one against Vanderbilt 5-4.
That was the final call from the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Game 2 of the series has been moved up today with pregame starting at 12:15. Alabama also gets a win in softball last night over South Carolina 3-2. The doubleheader yesterday at Toyota Field was a split for the Trash Pandas, winning game 1 4-1, but losing game 2 6-1. Series continues tonight. It is Star Wars night with a 6:35 first pitch that you can hear both on Talk Radio WZZN and 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This segment of the show is brought to you by my good friend Mike Owen at Owen Home Appliance. You know, I've known Mike for over 20 years, and no one knows the appliance business better than Mike. And he's always there to help support whatever we are doing on the show. And they've got all the major brands like Maytag, GE, Whirlpool, Electrolux, Speed Queen, and more. Visit the interactive location in Lacey Springs, where you can try the washers and dryers before you buy them. Owen Home Appliance Center. Quality products, quality prices, quality service. Owen Home Appliance.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog!
Now live. Here he is, the big dog.
Let's go, baby!
Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond? Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here. Welcome to a little Football Friday in the Doghouse. Football music throughout the show, including the single greatest piece of football music ever recorded in the history of mankind. Yeah, original Monday Night Football music. All right, so it is Football Friday, and we will have football music for you throughout the show. I'm going to be totally honest with you. This is one of the more difficult Football Fridays of the sports year, okay? We're now post-NFL draft. We're post-college spring ball. I got to be honest with you, man. I'm not feeling the UFL. I'm trying. I love the fact they're playing in these soccer stadiums and stuff. I hate the fact that the stadiums are terrible. It's just not moving the needle for me. It's just not moving the needle. So although we can manufacture some football topics for sure, I mean, there's not a lot of organic football stuff out there. I mean, here's an example of what I'm talking about. Let me just give you a little example of what I'm talking about. SaturdayDownSouth.com. This is a website that is built on, Saturdays in the South, which means college football. So let's look at their top stories for Friday, May 1st, 2026. Above the fold on the website.
why Texas basketball should be considered a top 5 roster heading into 2026-27. 5 under-the-radar players who could be key to Alabama's success in 2026. Maybe we'll read that one. We'll have to look at that one. How well do you know your Heisman Trophy history? Top horse racing slots to play before the Kentucky Derby. Paul Skeen's predictions and previews for the Pirates versus the Cardinals. Those are today's top stories. On Saturday down south, one football story, one basketball story, one Heisman Trophy story, a horse racing story, and a baseball story. That's all I'm saying. Let me just say now. Okay, so here's an interesting quote from Kirby Smart at the Regions Pro-Am in Birmingham this week on the state of college football right now. Kirby Smart said, our best Alabama teams, I'm going to go 2012, 13, 14, 15, would beat the dog out of all of these teams right now.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Yeah, he's right. Now, me personally, I would add 2019 LSU Tigers to that list, as I would beat the snot out of these teams. No way teams, Indiana, Miami, Michigan, Ohio State, none of these people. And the reason is he's just talking about, at this point, how the talent is spread out so much more. And you can't stockpile depth like you used to. And you know what? That's a good thing overall for college football. It really is. It brings in the whole country. We had huge ratings during the playoffs this past year. It's okay for the Big Ten to be decent. It's okay for an ACC team to make it to the national championship. It's okay. More on that in a moment. Because there's a different impact now. Because it's not just about stockpiling all the talent. Coaching. A bigger role than ever. So we have some NBA and NHL playoff news in here. A couple of interesting baseball stories for you because, it's baseball season. A NASCAR story since, it's NASCAR season. Tomorrow is the Run for the Roses in Louisville, as once again the Kentucky Derby has snuck up on us. I mean, we look, it's going to get a massive, massive audience. It will be by far the biggest thing that sports fan watches this weekend. We can't ignore the Kentucky Derby. Mark Malusis, horse racing handicapper from WFAN and SNY in New York, is coming up at the top of the 11 to preview that for us. But we're wide open in the first hour. Absolutely wide open in the first hour. So if you know what you want to talk about, feel free to jump in and contribute at 256-576-4977. The number's good wherever, however you consume the show. We have a text window, which is open as well. We'll read and react to those on the air. 7329-TA show, 732-982-7469. That gets you to the show. Finally, you can watch the show as well. You can check that out at the YouTube page at WZZN TV. And you can find it on the Twitter and on the Facebook. And you can also find it at my Twitter page at Thom Abraham Show. So that's cool as well. Nice win for Bama last night against Vandy. I almost called him Bandy. Used to know that guy. Bama with a nice comeback win last night against Vandy. That was exciting. So here's an interesting stat of the day from baseball. Let me just throw this out there. In 1988, okay, I'm not talking about 1908. How about 1988? The year my first son was born. My oldest son, 1988. So we're not talking about that long ago. Pitchers went 7+ innings in Major League Baseball 48% of the time. So 48% of the time, almost half the time, the pitcher went 7+ innings. By 1998, it was 38% of the time. By 2008, it was 29% of the time. By 2018, it was 18% of the time. 2018. Now, it's not 2028. You see what I'm doing here? I'm going every decade. It's now 2026. 8 years later, it was 18% in 2018. Today, 9%. Just 9%. 5 and fly, baby. 91% of the time. 5 and fly. If you get to 5. I mean, the game has changed so much. And look, I'm going to say it right now. I know we've been changing a lot of things in baseball. I'm here for the 3-pitcher max in regulation in 9 innings. I'm here for the 3 pitchers max. That's it. Unless you have injury, you can bring another pitcher in extra innings. 3 pitchers. That's it. You get to use 3 pitchers. Because you know what would happen? Guys will go back to throwing 94-mile-an-hour fastballs instead of 101-mile-an-hour fastballs because they'd have to last a little longer. Guys would pitch. You know, they'd be pitchers instead of just coming in and just throwing as hard as they could possibly throw. The art of pitching would return. We'll see more offense in the game. Let's get this done. Why not? 3 pitchers. Look at the strategy that would be involved in that. You get 3 pitchers for the game. 3. That gives you an opportunity to have a starter to go at least 6, if not 7. A middle-ish reliever, a guy to give you 1 or 2 innings, and then your closer. Then the next night, it'll be a different guy maybe in the middle innings. Maybe you don't have to have 13 guys in the bullpen. You got 13 guys on the bench and 13 guys in the bullpen right now in baseball. It's ridiculous. Here's another note. Nick Kurtz out in Sacramento with the A's has walked in 19 straight games, tying Ted Williams for 3rd on that list. Barry Bonds walked in 20 straight in 2002, 2003, kind of a carryover thing. The record is 22 straight in 1947 by a dude by the name of Roy Cullenbine. I never heard of the guy. I've never heard of the guy. I don't know who he is. And don't look now, but the Philadelphia Phillies are 3-0 since Don Mattingly took over the team this week. Now, look, I love Donnie Baseball. I absolutely love him. I just wish he would have ended up in the Yankees dugout at some particular point in time. That would be nice. Goodness gracious almighty, did you see what the New York Knicks did to the Atlanta Hawks last night? They led by 47 at the half. That's the biggest halftime lead in the history of the NBA playoffs. They led by 61 points at one point in the second half. They need a mercy rule in the NBA playoffs. They win the game by 51 points. It's 140-89. The most points ever scored in the New York Knickerbocker history in the playoffs. And that's a lot of history. It goes back to the early 50s. Goodness gracious. And you know, we're sitting there saying, okay, bring on the Celtics. Let's do it again, baby. Boston and New York's nothing like it. Except for the Celtics lost again last night to the 76ers. In the NHL, we got a 2 and a 3 seed, which have lost in the West in the first round. Got a 2 seed that has lost so far in the East, and it is a massive night tonight. Massive night tonight. Not to mention, you got the whole Rockets and Laker thing as the Lakers are cratering behind that fraud. I don't call him a fraud. He's just not MJ. He's just not MJ. But let me tell you something. Houston wins that game in Houston. They win that game at home, and they're gripping, you know, it's Grip City in L.A. for Game 7, if that happens, if it goes down that way. So that's out there as well. They are tonight. See, I don't even know 100%. Are they tonight? They are tonight, aren't they? I don't know because it's in the middle of the night. Yeah, it's tonight. Well, it's actually not too bad. 8:30 tonight. That's not too bad, but the puck is so huge tonight. I mean, I might slip over there and just check it out, but the back-to-back puck, or at the same time puck, it really is what I should say. Because I'm not watching Golden Knights and John's Utah Mammoth. I'm not watching that. I'm not watching. You know what? I don't even watch anything in the West. If the Preds aren't there, I don't even want to. Preds and the Oilers, if they're not there, I'm not watching the West. But you got Sabres and Bruins tonight at 6:30. You got Lightning and Canadiens. It starts before them at 6. Those games are going to be going on simultaneously. The winners of those series will play each other. Huge, huge early night in the NHL playoffs. All right, back in Mission Control. Playing the platters that matter to stacks of wax, answering the phones, producing this bad boy.
I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put this thing together out of spit and polish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
I have a sentimental weakness for my children, and I spoil them, as you can see. They talk when they should listen.
Give me back my son!
I don't like violence, Thom. I'm a businessman.
I'm telling you, there's an embarrassing press conference in that kid's future.
If you ain't first, you're last.
Do you hear the grasshopper, which is at your feet?
Old man, how is it that you hear these things?
Young man, how is it that you do not?
As quickly as you can, snatch the pebble from my hand. When you can take the pebble from my hand, it will be time for you to leave.
Hello. How are you? How you doing today, huh?
I'm doing pretty good. It's a Friday. Feeling a little evil, I would say. Having a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Why would you
feel evil?
I'm feeling a little evil today. I might just snap at any moment.
Oh, really?
You might not even know when it happens. I might just go crazy.
That would be nuts.
Yeah.
But you know what? We're getting closer because next to you there.
No, who is this?
Yeah, Hollywood Hogan got himself a microphone now, huh?
Yep.
That's good stuff. Next thing we need to do is get you some headphones so that you can hear me.
He can hear you right now. Now he can't though since I'm talking.
Yeah, that's so stupid. I mean, that is like so stupid. I'm trying to think of a better word.
Flaws.
Let me think of a word for it. It's stupid. Okay.
Can I say that?
You go to the Geek Squad and you get the little thing. You plug it in the thing and it splits the headphone thing, and you just do that. Anyway, all right.
You're seeming like you're on something today as well.
I'm stoked, man. It's Football Friday.
Yeah?
Are you kidding me? Woo! Nothing like Football Friday. I mean, this is just the best day to But this is my favorite show of the week. Even when it's not football season, this is my favorite show of the week. I get to hear that. I mean, come on.
It's quality stuff right there. And I did place a bet on, I invested in
prediction
some stocks.
Market? Yeah, you bought the stock in what?
The Bruins. They're at 20% right now.
Just for the game or to win the series?
To win the whole series. And even if they win tonight, I'm going to take a little peek at it. If it goes up even just to 10 or 20%, I might rethink my little gamble right there. But honestly, I might just sit firm because it's not like I throw a lot of money at that stuff anyway.
I put a little $20 bill on the Knicks to win the NBA championship. I paid 3 cents for it. 3 cents on a $20 bill for the Knicks to win the NBA championship.
Jumped up after last night.
It's 5 cents right now. It's 5, and if the Celtics lose, in their series, which I don't think they will, but if the Celtics do lose to the 76ers, it'll jump up even more. But it's 5 cents, so you could say, well, that's a 33% gain. Probably should bail, but it's a $20 bill. It's a $20 bill. It pays like $330 something or something like that. It's crazy.
Just a little chump change.
Little chump change there. All right, so we got a number of things that are out there, but how about that 51 points the Knicks won by last night? I mean, that's just insane. They were up 61 in the second half. It's ridiculous. Absolutely crazy. All right. I'll tell you what I want to do. Phone lines are open, so if you guys want to jump in, you can jump in. There are a number of things to get into, but something jumped off the page at me regarding NASCAR. And I want to reset this and give us a little bit of room to talk about it. If you guys want to weigh in, certainly you can weigh in. If you want to sit back, relax, and enjoy this, you can do that as well. But since we finally got a microphone in front of Hollywood.
No, who is this in?
I don't know. But since he's got a microphone, we're going to go ahead and have this little three-way conversation, if we can have a three-way conversation. I don't even know if we can with these guys. But we're gonna have a little conversation when we come.
Yeah,
back.
we definitely can.
Maybe possibly.
No,
I don't know.
No, yeah, we could definitely do that.
Yeah. If you see one of you has to, you that's what you're gonna have to learn is that one of you talks at a time. Okay. Yeah. One of you is gonna talk at a time.
I just wanted to show off these awesome mics working simultaneously.
So what kind of? I gotta look. Hang on. Let me look in the window here, and see what I can see here. What kind of mic? I see you. What kind of mic does he have? Look at that. Where'd we steal that from? Was that in a box? We had that in the storage room, probably?
It's the same mic that we use when we have a third guest in the studio.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. That's good.
Yeah, we need another mic, by the way. You got to order that.
I could do that. But that's good. I mean, how often do we have a third guest in the studio? Now,
last night.
Oh, okay. Is it run into the other studio right now still? So we're still kind of doing it that way?
No, Brian actually patched it into the back of the board.
Well, that's what I have been asking all along is that why can't we put another mic in the back of the board?
He said he read the manual and he had to wire it up. I don't think it's put in the traditional way, but it works.
Don't move it, Brody. Don't move it.
Well, however he did it, that's good stuff. We got two over here, too. We got look, see? Look at this.
When do you ever have an in-studio guest?
Let's see. The last time would be never. I do sometimes when I record other stuff. Like I'll record commercials, and sometimes somebody will come in, we record a commercial. Or sometimes when I record Field of Faith radio, I'll have a guest that comes in studio, and I'll record. There are other things I do besides the Thom Abraham Show. I didn't know if you ever knew that or not. Did you know that? I didn't know if you knew that or not. This is just one of many jobs that I have. So I wish I had no more. I used to have a high chair. Where's my chair? I had a chair where somebody could sit over there.
You don't have enough room in that little shack of
No,
yours.
I got room here in the dog shack. I got room to put somebody over there. Okay. Let's get a break. When we come back, just Denny Hamlin said something that made me bristle. Well, everything Denny Hamlin says makes me, but he said something that made me bristle a little bit, and I want to push back on it. Now, you got to have a little bit of knowledge of history, and I don't know if those two dudes over there on the other side of the glass
Union Grove, Huntsville.
What are you doing?
I didn't do that.
Got to have a little history now. Are you going to be able to get me out to a break or not with that thing? I don't know what's going on over there.
It's a wild Friday. It's Freaky Friday.
That's Freaky Friday is right.
That was my evil task that I did.
Trying to have a good show here.
And show for y'all. Got a damn good show.
Trying. All right, we'll come back. Phone lines are open. 256-576-4977. Thom Abraham Show. Back with more right after this.
ALCR number 21014.
Welcome into the hottest and coolest game show around called The Freeze. Today's contestant, Bob. Bob, can you tell me the heating and air business that provides free service with repair?
Is it Talent Heating and Air Conditioning?
Can you tell me which heating and air business provides free second opinions?
Talent Heating and Air Conditioning.
You are our grand prize winner. You have won a visit from the #1 heating and air business in the Tennessee Valley.
Talent Heating and Air Conditioning?
That's right. Talent Heating and Air is coming to you.
This is Thomas with Talent Heating and Air Conditioning, and you don't have to win a game show to use us. We have free second opinions year-round, and we're doing free service calls with a repair. So just remember, call Talent Heating and Air Conditioning at 256-503-4490 or visit us on our website at talenthvac.com.
Our good friend Bobby White is now at Lynn Leighton Ford, and you know what you never find at Lynn Leighton Ford? Some mysterious dock fee that can be $600, $700, or $800. A dock fee is an add-on that some dealers will charge just to do the paperwork on your deal. At Lynn Leighton, the price you see advertised is the price you'll pay. That's the Lynn Leighton way. Transparency is important in buying these days, and that's what you get at Lynn Leighton Ford in Decatur. Lynn Leighton offers an extensive new and pre-owned inventory, as well as lease options, finance options, and expert auto service. They are dedicated to providing exceptional customer service and are an integral part of our community. And believe me, it's worth the short ride over to the Beltline in Decatur to see what Lynn Leighton Ford has to offer. And what you see on that window sticker is what you will get without the hidden mystery fees. We made the move, and so should you, to Lynn Leighton Ford in Decatur. Lynn Leighton Ford. Find them on the Beltline.
The Orthopedic Center. It's in the name. TOC, the premier choice for all your orthopedic needs. With over 40 physicians and 20 centers of excellence, TOC is the name to trust for complete, expert orthopedic care. And that word center, we mean it. With more than a dozen locations across North Alabama and the Tennessee Valley, TOC is in your community whenever you need us. As the state's largest orthopedic practice, TOC is built on trust. Trust we've earned with every patient we serve. You can see that trust on the field, too. As the official sports medicine provider for the Huntsville Havoc, Huntsville City Football Club, Oakwood and Alabama A&M universities, thousands of athletes and coaches count on TOC to keep them in the game. From student athletes to unexpected injuries, our urgent ortho clinics offer prompt, expert care. No appointment necessary. So remember, when it comes to your health and mobility, trust the name that says it all. TOC, helping you live a better life.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
WASP Asset Software, delivered by our Next Level software team, helps you track every asset with ease, giving you total visibility over your tools, equipment, and IT assets from everywhere.
With WASP, our customers have reduced loss, improved accountability, and saved hours tracking down what they own and where it is.
This is proven technology, and I urge you to ask about it.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This segment of the show is brought to you by the Docs at TOC. You know, I'm always talking about these people that I've known and trusted in the Tennessee Valley for over 20 years. Well, my buddy Thom Perkins and the Docs at TOC certainly fit that description. And when my own family has needed an orthopedic specialist, TOC was the only call to make. There is a reason why almost all the schools in the region use TOC, because they are trusted and they provide the kind of care people need. TOC is the orthopedic center. It's right there in the name, and they're right there when you need them. And welcome back, Tom Abraham Show. By the way, interesting trivia question on the pucks. with the Flyers getting back in there and even winning their series, and the Sabres in there, and they've beaten the Bruins 3 times in their series, there are now only 4 teams in the entirety of the NHL that have not won a playoff game in the last 5 years. 4 teams, you talk about leagues and having some sort of, diversity in the league and kind of keeping everybody in line. There's only 4 teams in all of the NHL that have not won a playoff game, in the last 5 years. Okay? 2 of them are original 6 teams with great history. The Detroit Red Wings and the Chicago Blackhawks. The Blackhawks and the Red Wings have not won a playoff game in the last. Well, the Red Wings haven't been in the playoffs in 10 years. I mean, it's kind of gross to think about it. I mean, half of each conference makes the playoffs. The Detroit Red Wings and the Chicago Blackhawks are joined by the San Jose Sharks and the Columbus Blue Jackets as the only 4 teams that have not won a playoff game in the last 5 years. So there you go. Enjoy that list. Enjoy being on that list. All right, so Kyle Busch is the highest paid driver in NASCAR. Is that surprise anybody on the other side of the glass? Kyle Busch. Do you have a guess as to how much Kyle Busch's salary is? Because remember, these guys have salary, and then they get bonuses.
$16.2 million.
$16.9 million. Close. That's what Kyle Busch is making right now. And he hasn't won a race in almost 3 years. Okay? So Denny Hamlin had some strong opinions on Kyle Busch's current run. This is what he said. He said, quote, clearly RCR, Richard Childress Racing, where Kyle races now, clearly RCR is not good right now, but you are a Hall of Fame Mount Rushmore driver. Carry it better than your teammate then. Wait a minute. Hall of Fame, certainly. Mount Rushmore?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. May God have mercy on your soul.
There is no way that Kyle Busch is a Mount Rushmore driver.
I would disagree if you're looking at the grand scheme of NASCAR. If you're thinking like all 3 series, he's got over 200 total wins across all 3 series.
Yeah, but that Dale Earnhardt didn't run all the time. He just wouldn't run around truck races and winning a bunch of races. That doesn't put you on a NASCAR. Darrell Waltrip wasn't running a bunch of truck races. They didn't even have truck races when Bobby Allison and Darrell Waltrip and David Pearson were running. If they wanted to, they'd have gone and won 100 of those races too. No, it's the Cup Series. It's the Cup Series.
Well, he's got 63.
Okay. All right. How many things are on Mount Rushmore?
4.
Is Richard Petty on Mount Rushmore?
Yeah.
Is Dale Earnhardt on Mount Rushmore? He has 7 championships.
Yeah.
Okay. How about Jimmy Johnson with 83 wins and 7 championships, including 5 in a row? Is he on Mount Rushmore? What?
I'd throw that up in the air if I'm honest.
No, I'm putting him on the freaking Mount Rushmore.
Are you kidding me? He's got 20 more wins than Kyle Busch and 5 more championships.
They were cheating.
This guy also says that Michael Jordan's not the best basketball player of all time.
Well, some people are real smart about
I think Jeff Gordon should be on the Mount Rushmore.
All right, so you're going to put Jeff Gordon with his 93 wins ahead of Jimmy Johnson with his 83 wins. Jeff has 4 championships. Now, I'll say this. If they hadn't changed the system, Jimmy Johnson would have 4 championships. Jeff Gordon would actually have 6 if they hadn't changed the system, all right?
Yeah.
So I will agree with you on Jeff Gordon. I I think I would put Jeff Gordon on the Mount Rushmore, okay? But let me tell you something. That leaves one spot. And we're right now talking about leaving Jimmy Johnson off. So let's set him to the side just for a second. For a millisecond, we'll set him off to the side, okay? David freaking Pearson won 105 races and 3 championships. David Pearson. Kyle Busch could not change tires for David Pearson. All right, that's how good David Pearson was. Winning the 3 championships he won in the 60s. I'll go another step further. Darrell Waltrip with 84 wins and 3 championships, which is still one more than Kyle Busch, who's trying to win a race. Cale Yarborough, 83 championships, or 83 wins and 3 championships in a row. Cale Yarborough, 76, 77, 78, wins the championship 3 years in a row. All of those guys. That's where the battle isn't Kyle Busch. The reason Denny wants to put Kyle Busch on there is because Denny's got 2 less wins than Kyle Busch, even though Denny hasn't won a championship. Kyle Busch, let me tell you where Kyle Busch is. Kyle Busch is in the foothills of Mount Rushmore. It's Richard Petty. It's Dale Earnhardt. It's Jeff Gordon. Probably Jimmy Johnson. I mean, say what you want. It's probably Jimmy Johnson. I mean, 7 championships is 7 championships. Took advantage of the system the way the system was. And then you got, if not him, it's David Pearson. If not him, it's Darrell Waltrip. If not him, it's Bobby Allison. If not him, it's Cale Yarborough. See, you got another mountain that has, Pearson, Allison, Waltrip, and Yarborough on it. That's another mountain. Then you find where Kyle Busch is. I don't think that Kyle Busch is a cup driver. And again, these other guys didn't have the benefit of going out and running and winning a bunch of, I don't think you put Kyle Busch in that same category. You can't put him in that category. Who would be your 4th? Hollywood.
I would put Kyle there. I'd put Petty, I'd put Earnhardt, I'd do Gordon, and I'd put Kyle Busch.
You're out of your friggin' mind. How could you put Kyle Busch ahead of Cale Yarborough?
I'm going from a talent perspective. I've never seen Cale Yarborough race, but I think for the eras, Kyle Busch was so dominant across all 3 series for a long time.
Forget the 3 series already. You don't know what Cale Yarborough and Richard Petty and Drew Pearson would have done if they'd have bothered to race those series. Dale Earnhardt never got in a truck in his life. He'd have won 50 of those races. You could only go by the cup. All-time cup. Cup is what puts you on that deal. Otherwise, we got to go to guys in sprint cars and open wheel and Saturday Night NASCAR series and things like that. We're not talking about those guys. We're talking about the highest level of NASCAR. And how you could possibly put Kyle Busch ahead of Waltrip, Yarborough, Allison, Pearson? Come on, man. Go back and watch some of those races.
I think we also would have to consider Bill Elliott. I know that the wins aren't necessarily there, but, he was, again, dominant in his era for a long time.
You know who was dominant in his era? Tony Stewart. He won 3 championships.
The race wins aren't there.
Well, he's got 49. He didn't run as many years as some of these guys. He didn't run as many races as some of these guys.
See, mine goes the other way. I go Bobby Allison as that 4th, but he doesn't have the champions to kind of, back that claim.
Are you with Petty, Earnhardt, and Gordon? How about we just
I feel like Gordon's got to be on there just because him and Dale
93
Earnhardt,
and 4.
That era was like top tier. But at the same time, the way that Jimmy Johnson went about NASCAR in the 2000s was, I mean, that's all we saw.
I have a question. Is there any current Cup Series guy that you could see moving into the Mount Rushmore of NASCAR? Like anybody that is a part of the series right now?
No, there's not a guy right now because there's really not a guy that's I mean, Tyler Reddick's having a dominant season.
Do you think Kyle Larson could hit that if he wins another championship or two?
How many's he got right now? 2?
I believe he's got 2.
Oh, Joey Logano has 3, and more wins than Kyle Larson.
For now.
Larson, possibly. I will say this, and I think the reason that I don't think that's the case is that I think there's more cars that can win now than before. I think there was always like 10 cars that could win, back in the day. Look, and I want you guys, here's your homework for over the weekend. Because I watched some of this on the YouTube last night, and I was laughing my butt off. I need you to go watch the 1978 Darlington race. You got to see when they come into the pits how it is. It's like they're in it for a half an hour. Guys carrying around the jack. They got no uniforms on or anything. The guy carries the jack around. He jacks the car up like 3 feet in the air. I mean, it's crazy. It's pretty funny.
That's that endurance racing style. I mean, it takes.
You got to see. You got to go back and watch some of these vintage races from the 70s and then even into the 80s. But there's a race. Richard Petty and 2 other guys are the only guys on the lead lap. There were times when there's 2-3 guys on the lead lap. That's it. The racing, that's the dirty little secret. Everybody talks about the good old days. The racing's more competitive now than it ever was.
Well, yeah, it was arrive and drive. That was literally the scheme for NASCAR back in the day. You pull up in a car and you have a number on it and you just go. And a lot of those guys weren't good.
I forget who it was that they were talking. Was it Waltrip? They were showing Waltrip or somebody. This is the mid to late 70s. And the announcer says, now it costs almost $100,000 for the season to race. They have 42 engines. It's true. One team had 42 engines because, the engines would fail. And then Dale Earnhardt's in this. I'm telling you, it's the 78 Darlington race, something like that. Dale Earnhardt's now in the garage area as they're changing his engine. It changed his engine during the race.
Don't know if you'd get away with that today.
No, because you only get 5 minutes now. And if you go behind the wall, you're done. Royce is up first. Royce, welcome to the show. How are you? Royce, are you there?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I don't know if you remember me or not. I'm a pastor. I've talked with you a couple of times. I love your program. I tell everybody you make people forget about Paul Feinbaum. You got the best show on radio.
Thank you.
And with your bumper music on Fridays, especially today with being cold outside, you've got me looking for kickoff. I mean, this is really cool. My question for you, and it's not a sport, but I've never heard you talk about it, but I would guess we would call it a sporting hobby, and that is putt-putt.
Like miniature golf putt-putt?
Yeah. Over in Decatur, we have putt-putt tournaments. We have single tournaments on Monday night, and then we have doubles on Thursday night. And the people that do it enjoy it immensely. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to go here and just advertise a little bit and say, listen, it's something that a lot of folks would enjoy doing if they just give it a chance. We've been doing it for over 20 years.
I used to love, it just really haven't done it much. I guess where I live now, I can't even think of where there's a miniature golf track anywhere where I'm at. Field Day has a nice indoor miniature track, but it's like every hole. There are different kinds of putt-putts. There's putt-putt where every hole is a theme type hole. Every hole is like the 18th hole at a regular putt-putt place. And then there are putt-putt courses that are more akin to like regular golf almost, where there's not like a windmill on every hole. You know what I mean? There's not like, you jump in and you're knocking it through a goalpost or something like that on every hole. But I would enjoy that. I would endorse us doing a putt-putt tournament. They've got a real cool indoor putt-putt place too over at What's the other place, John, that we used to have the Christmas parties? Your place.
Oh, Flo?
Flo has an indoor putt-putt. Now, is this place that you do it at, Royce, is it outdoors or is it indoors?
Yes, it is outdoors. It's called Funland.
Funland?
Funland Putt-Putt over here off of 14th Street in Decatur. And this has been a tradition for many, many years. And I said, we really enjoy it. There's two courses on it. And one course we call the kiddie course. It does have the animals and things like that. But the course that we have our tournaments on is the other side. It's more of the serious side. And it's redesigned every year with the different obstacles. And we start next week is our first week this year. We have tournaments where you win Pepsi products for a year. We have tournaments where you win a little extra money than usual, that are big tournaments and city championships and things like that. So some of the guys really take it serious. I do it for fun and enjoy winning, of course, but it's just a lot of fun, family fun. I putt with my son, and we just have a great time. Just a great time.
Yeah, it sounds like fun. I would certainly endorse a miniature golf tournament that we could have with the listeners. I bet that would be a fun.
We'd love to have you over here.
Yeah, I bet that would be a fun thing.
Thursday nights, the tournament starts at 7:30 each on Monday and Thursday. You putt for free for an hour before to sort of warm up, and I think it's $10 a person to play in that tournament. And then if you win, you'll get your money back plus a little bit. And like I said, just a lot of fun. Come see us.
You get to use your own ball and your own putter and things like that.
Absolutely. Most of us putt with about 3 different balls: a live ball, a dead ball, and then somewhere in the middle ball.
Yeah. It's good stuff, man. That's not part of Point Miller, though. That's its own place at Funland?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, this is just putt within itself over here in the Funland Park.
All right, Rice, I appreciate it. What church do you preach at?
River City Baptist.
River City Baptist. SBC?
We are a non-affiliated Baptist church. Okay. So sort of Southern Baptist, Independent Baptist. We just call ourselves non-affiliated, but we are a growing church. I tell everybody we got a lot better people than they have a pastor. I mean, we just got a great congregation, and we're located at 3223 Old River Road behind the Publix, basically in Priceville, but it's still the Decatur address.
You have a lot of like potluck dinners and food after service sometimes and things like that. You do that kind of stuff?
Yeah, need to have more of it. We've outgrown our fellowship hall, so when we do eating, we have to do it out on the pavilion we built because we outgrew our facilities. So we need to do more of that. For Mother's Day, we'll have breakfast out under the pavilion and things like that. But I appreciate your program. I appreciate your stance, and I know you're involved in a church in Tennessee, and I appreciate you plugging it every now and then.
You got to, you got to eat. If you're going to call yourself a Baptist church, you got to have food. That's the thing that Baptists love to do. Got to eat some food. So we're together, get fellowship together. All right, man. Appreciate you.
Have a great day.
Let me get Natty Danny in here to finish this segment. Natty Danny, welcome to the show. How are you?
Well, hold on. Hi, Tom.
Hold on.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
No, I've got Tom. I have a very nice gentleman here. Robbie, he's from Clark Electric. He's my contractor doing new service boxes.
Okay.
And the guy that built the house back in the day, the receptacles, there's none underneath the house. And whatever, there is a couple, when I say receptacles, junction boxes that don't have covers on them. And then the other wire is just taped together. It's not code.
All right. So why are you talking to me or him? You talking to your electrician?
I'm telling you about this nice gentleman. Robbie owns Clark Electric.
All right.
That's a shameless plug. If anybody needs work, he's good.
Today's free plug day. Anyway. Free plug day on the Tom Abraham. Free plugs on Friday on the Tom Abraham.
Tom. This guy's worth it. This guy's very interesting. He's
good.
He has exotic animals at his house, and he's all over the place. He's been to places and done things. This guy's just really plays in a band. He's just a really cool dude. Anyway.
Good.
With that said, that's not why I called. Shameless plug. I'm calling on the Red Wings. Yes, it's not gross. It's just sad that we have not made the playoffs in 10 years. I wouldn't call it gross.
That's kind of gross, man. I mean, I'm not talking about just you. I'm talking about you and the Blackhawks. For the Blackhawks and the Red Wings to not make the playoff, that's kind of gross. I mean, we need those teams in the playoffs.
Well, I guess descriptions could be different from whoever. Everybody's got like a butthole. You never know. It all comes up, right?
Yeah, right. That's
So,
I guess
there you
that's
go.
a little graphic,
So with
but
that
yeah.
said, I know it's graphic, but I'm excited. I like the fact that my Lions got quality players. I like the edge rushers, both from Michigan with a Michigan linebacker. I like the way that sounds. So I think we're going to do quite well with that. And the Tigers won yesterday, which is they should have won the other game. That relief pitching let us down because Scoble had you guys. So the Braves.
Yeah, well, you got 9 innings. Got to do it,
Yeah, we got 9 innings.
You got to do it the whole way.
I still think we're going to meet at the end. I think it's going to be Yankees.
You should. I can't believe you didn't go over there. Why didn't you go to Atlanta and take in some of the Tigers?
I'm busy, Tom,
you're retired.
I got an oasis I'm making in the backyard. I'm doing the pool and everything.
You're retired. You take a day
guy.
and you go over to the game. You could have went to the day game and been home by 5 o'clock.
You know what? Maybe you're right, but right now, Ginger and I want this relaxing oasis so we can just chill out. That's the game plan. This is my last thing I'm doing around here. And then I'm going to chill out, relax, spend time with my wife, bring my kids over. We're all going to relax by the pool, have a big time.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Have a great weekend.
All right, man. It's all good. I love the show. And Philip, if you're listening, I'm hoping things working out for you, man. Getting back on the road with your car.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I think he is. I think he's doing all right now.
Good.
Thanks to all you guys, all the listeners that ponied up.
Money well spent.
Yep, absolutely.
See you.
All right, man. Appreciate it. All right, let's get the break. We will come back, set you up for hour number 2 next on the Thom Abraham Show.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Atlanta Braves dropped their series finale to the Detroit Tigers. Are on the road today at the Rockies. Grant Holmes on the hill for Atlanta, $1.99 favorite. Jose Quintana for the Rockies, plus 163. The total, 10.5 over at Coors Field in Denver. Alabama hosting Vanderbilt in Tuscaloosa. The Crimson Tide, $1.25 favorite over the Commodores. Auburn plus 130 at Texas A&M. UAB laying $1.95 against Rice. Jacksonville State minus 105 against Missouri State. Danny Hamlin, the 4-1 favorite in the Cup race this week at Texas, and Renegade 5-1 to win the Kentucky Derby. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
No Wi-Fi? How are we going to stream the game?
Mom, I have a research project due.
How are we going to make dinner?
Don't let power outages send your family into a meltdown. Get a Generac generator from Current Electrical. We keep your lights on and your Wi-Fi on. Visit gensuperstore.com or call 256-880-1880. Trust us, your family will thank you.
Most current way to keep your power on. GeneracSuperstore.com.
Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly cloudy sky this afternoon. Temperatures only climbing into the mid and upper 60s. Quite cool for the first day of May. We're going to be talking about a little bit of rain that'll move in this evening, and then we'll talk about a little more rain through the overnight early into your Saturday morning. Temperatures drop into the mid and upper 40s. A partly sunny sky Saturday afternoon. Temperatures only climb into the mid 60s.
Your Fox 54 weather. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This segment of the Thom Abraham Show is brought to you by Ross Roberts and his team at Valley Equipment Rental, and they have a brand new product for you. If you happen to be standing on a concrete or tile floor, Valley Equipment has the exact machine for you. Now, whether it's new construction or daily work environments or an area that's been neglected for far too long, the Valley Equipment team of experienced professionals can help you get the right floor scrubber or sweeper for your needs. Call Valley Equipment and ask them for more details on how they can help you out today. And welcome back, Thom Abraham Show. And what Brad said, the West is still in America, and, Canada is not. I just don't like the teams in the Western Conference. I don't. I like the Oilers. I like the Predators. If the Calgary Flames were in there, that would be of interest to me. Most of the teams in the NHL, it's not that I hate the West part of the country. I just don't like the Western Conference. Text window. Kyle Busch couldn't clean the toilets on a Mount Rushmore of NASCAR. Yeah, you know what? It's my fault. It's not the guy's fault. It's my fault. I got a couple of neophytes, in there, and they're great NASCAR fans, but they don't know anything that existed really, before 25 years ago. So I get it. All right, when we return, Mark Malusis will join us from New York City. He's a horse racing handicapper expert to talk Kentucky Derby next. Thom Abraham Show.
The Orthopedic Center. It's in the name. TOC, the premier choice for all your orthopedic needs. With over 40 physicians and 20 centers of excellence, TOC is the name to trust for complete, expert orthopedic care. And that word center, we mean it. With more than a dozen locations across North Alabama and the Tennessee Valley, TOC is in your community whenever you need us. As the state's largest orthopedic practice, TOC is built on trust. Trust we've earned with every patient we serve. You can see that trust on the field, too. As the official sports medicine provider for the Huntsville Havoc, Huntsville City Football Club, Oakwood and Alabama A&M universities, thousands of athletes and coaches count on TOC to keep them in the game. From student athletes to unexpected injuries, our urgent ortho clinics offer prompt, expert care. No appointment necessary. So remember, when it comes to your health and mobility, trust the name that says it all. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com. Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com. Since 1986, Full Moon Barbecue has been cooking quality meats low and slow over a hickory wood-fired pit. From ribs and wings, brisket, turkey, catfish, and sausage to the best butts in town. If you're planning a holiday or a birthday party, Full Moon has a large banquet room. And Full Moon is ready for your next catering or tailgate. Just call us and we'll take care of everything. 256-713-0070. Full Moon Barbecue on the Parkway next to Costco. The best little pork house in Alabama.
Hey folks, Arthur Seed, managing partner at University Kia, letting you know we are proud supporters of Alabama and Auburn football. Swing by University Kia today and check out our huge selections of brand new Kias, including the spacious Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the slick new K5, the sporty Kia Seltos. We've got perfect cars for every lifestyle and budget. Visit universitykia.com to view all our amazing offers and get pre-approved amenities. Because we want to see you in a Kia. Roll Tide, War Eagle.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
It is Friday, May the 1st, 2026. Steve Moulton here with your update. In college baseball,
swing and he drills it high, straightaway center. Rigdon all the way back. Goodbye! John Lamb with a walk-off homer. Alabama wins night one against Vanderbilt 5-4.
That was the final call from the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Game 2 of the series has been moved up today with pregame starting at 12:15. Alabama also gets a win in softball last night over South Carolina 3-2. The doubleheader yesterday at Toyota Field was a split for the Trash Pandas, winning game 1 4-1, but losing game 2 6-1. Series continues tonight. It is Star Wars night with a 6:35 first pitch that you can hear both on Talk Radio WZZN and 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live. Here he is, the big dog, Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like Dale McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond? Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
And welcome in on a Football Friday in the Doghouse. It's always Football Friday. Not a ton of football in the show today. I'll be totally honest with you. I mean, it is baseball season. It is NHL and NBA playoff season. It is NASCAR season. And there's going to be this horse race tomorrow. It sneaks up on us every year. It is something that played a big role for me. And I grew up in Western New York near Finger Lakes Racetrack, not too far, 15, 20 minutes from Finger Lakes Racetrack. So, and I grew up feeding the horses and taking them. I know I sound like I'm from a stupid Brooklyn, but it's not the case. I was in the country, up there in upstate New York. And this was always a really big deal. And it is still a really big deal. The TV numbers will be off the chart. It's, it's the Kentucky Derby, and we can't ignore it. And so we're going to talk about it with Mark Malusis. He's a great horse racing handicapper. He works at The Fan in New York, also SNY in New York as well. He joins us as we add a new audience to the show here on Nashville Sports Radio in Nashville and Murfreesboro, go along with 97.7 ESPN in Huntsville and ESPN Winchester and Winchester. And we'll get the phone lines opened up again in a moment. But Mark joins us not only on the Neighbors Wealth Management hotline, but he is also on WZZN TV side by each as well. Mark, welcome in. How are you?
Thom, what's cooking, man? How are you?
I am fantastic. After the Knicks last night, they went Secretariat on the Atlanta Hawks. Goodness gracious I've been a Knicks fan my whole life, since 1970, 71, 72, back in the days when they were, winning championships with, Walt Frazier and Bill Bradley and then Dave DeBusschere and Willis Reed and the whole crew there. And, man, that was I'd never seen it. Well, nobody's ever seen anything like that because there's never been a game like that before in the playoffs.
No, 47-point lead at the half. I mean, at one point in time, it was 72-22. Just an embarrassing performance by the Atlanta Hawks. I mean, just no gumption whatsoever. And then a superlative performance by the New York Knicks. OG Anunoby has taken his game to another level. And the Knicks were favored to win the series. I mean, they were the 3 seed. The Hawks were the 6 seed coming into the Eastern Conference NBA playoffs, and they were nearly a 3-1 favorite to win the series. So, but I think the style and fashion in which they played. Last night, Tom, was the first time in a while that the Knicks had a air of championship quality where you felt it. That was that kind of dominant performance, a statement victory in a closeout game. Don't want to get to a 7th game. Don't want to play with your food, even though they would have won that game back in Madison Square Garden. And they left no doubt. I mean, that game was over at the end of the first quarter. It tipped at like 7:04. By like 7:32, the game was over. There was nothing left to watch in the game. And the Knicks thoroughly and unbelievably so just completely dominated and embarrassed the Atlanta Hawks.
And then to make matters even better, and for their case, is the fact that the Celtics are having a hard time putting the 76ers away. They're going to have to go to 7 if they can win that thing. And I'll be honest with you, I got the Knicks for 3 cents in the prediction market to win the NBA championship. It's a long shot, but it was only 3 cents, right? And it's 5 cents now. And I'm sitting there, from a percentage standpoint, you go ahead and sell that thing. But if the Celtics lose that series and it's the 76ers, man, you can see a path that, and look, let's be honest, they have to go to the finals. I mean, they didn't fire Tom Thibodeau to go back to the Eastern Conference Finals. What's the point? I mean, they have to at least get out of the conference if they can.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about it. So that's why this team had the most pressure of any team going into the NBA playoffs, even the defending champs. I mean, the Oklahoma City Thunder and Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs. But yeah, that's why that change was made. Leon Rose issued that statement, and Mike Brown was brought aboard to get this team to a championship level and get themselves to an NBA Finals and get through the Eastern Conference. And you mentioned, looking at the complexion of the East, I mean, the Boston Celtics have had issues, lack of depth. They're not playing the bench. Missoula, Brown, Tatum is a little bit banged up right now. Embiid has had a huge impact in that series. And then you go with the wing players. Paul George has been fantastic. Tyrese Maxey was great last night for the Philadelphia 76ers. And then you throw in VJ Edgecombe, the rookie. So either one of those two teams, it would be a fun series against the New York Knicks, but the Boston Celtics were a favorite in the Eastern Conference, and they're not looking like one where that game's going to a Game 7 on Saturday night. Orlando has a death hold on that series against the Pistons. Cade Cunningham's unbelievable, but the Detroit Pistons' secondary scoring has been an issue because Jalen Duren has disappeared in that series. And then you look at Cleveland and you look at, obviously, the Toronto Raptors. I expect the Cavs to win that series, but the Cavs have got issues. I've never been a big Harden believer. How could you in the NBA postseason? So it's wide open here for the Knicks. And I think last night's statement victory, and if you're looking for a team where it wasn't about the 53 wins in the regular season, Tom, it was about what this team was going to do in the NBA playoffs. Well, last night with a statement victory, something that we have never seen before in the history of the NBA.
Yeah, and I think that Pistons Magic game, that's Game 6 and Game 7, because there's no way the Magic are going to go back to Detroit and win Game 7. So they better get it done tonight in Game 6.
I would agree.
That's Game 6 and Game 7. Mark Malusis with us here. We also share a love for the New York Yankees. That's where we diverge because I'm not from the city. I was able to, as a kid, pick my teams, and I'm a Bruins fan, not a Rangers fan. I'm a Bruins fan and a Cleveland Browns fan. Western New York's team, long before the Buffalo Bills, my whole family is a Browns fans, and it's like a disease. It's like being a Cubs fan. But the Yankees, I sit there and I watch Don Mattingly win the first 3 games in the dugout for the Phillies, and my sons, they're all like, how come he's not managing the Yankees? And I'm like, I know we've been calling for that for years, but we'll see. It's same thing with Aaron Boone. I mean, he's not there to go to the ALCS. He's got to get a win here sooner or later.
Yeah, no, I would agree. And listen, I'm with you. I grew up loving Don Mattingly and Donnie Baseball, and had the poster, the Hitman, on my wall when I was growing up and when I was a kid. I mean, there was no better guy when he was at his peak of his game. Was one of the best hitters in all of Major League Baseball. And you root for Mattingly, obviously, especially when you get to October, for him to finally win that World Series. Now a member of the coaching staff, or the manager, the interim manager of the Philadelphia Phillies, taking over for the fired Rob Thompson. As far as the Yankees are concerned, yeah, I mean, you know what they're going to be led by, the power pitching, the starting rotation. Obviously, Judge, Ben Rice has been unbelievable this year. They've dealt with an injury with Giancarlo Stanton. Dominguez now a little bit banged up, but you look at this group, they're going to be a 90-plus win team, and I think you have a deeper appreciation now, Tom, for the Yankees, even if you get a little frustrated by the way that they operate based on what we have seen here from the New York Mets, who have been a complete and utter embarrassment.
They are, and they have the bigger payroll. You know, it's like somebody was hitting the text window talking about the Dodgers and how great the Dodgers. I said, well, for $545 million, they ought to win, you know, the World Series for a third time in a row. But then the Mets, how can you explain that? That's just a disaster. It's always a cesspool there. All right, let's get to the Derby. So Renegade was a favorite. It was 4-1. It's now moved to 5-1 is what I'm seeing quite a bit. Does a lot of that have to do with him being on a rail? I don't think we've had a winner from the rail since, 1986, maybe, something like that. I don't know how much it affects this horse, but, you know, we don't have that, like, real prohibitive favorite this year if Renegade's going to go off at 5-1.
No, you don't, and that's the reason why, excuse me, Tom, that's the reason why his odds have ticked up, because of the rail. Yeah, I think you have to go back 40 years. Ferdinand was the horse. Bill Shoemaker was his jockey at the time, and worked out an unbelievable trip that day in order for Ferdinand to win the Run for the Roses of the Kentucky Derby out at Churchill Downs. Listen, I like Renegade coming in. I don't think the one post is going to... Now, you're going to need racing luck. Anytime you look at this, unless you have a forwardly placed horse, if you have anybody coming from off the pace, you're going to need a little bit of racing luck. Not getting caught up in traffic, not steadying in any way, shape, or form. Momentum has to keep moving forward. The Into Mischief 3-year-old, there were, the Beyer speed figures fit. I thought his Arkansas Derby was one of the more visually impressive. The turn of foot that he's able to show for Irad Ortiz and Todd Pletcher and Mike Rapoli, I think, is utterly ridiculous. The question is, will he get the trip? I still like him going into it. I like the fact that his odds have ticked up a little bit. I think contention runs deep, though. I mean, I think there's probably, you can make a case for 5 or 6 in here that could arguably win the race. I don't think this is a case of a year ago I went into it and, I love Sovereignty. And I thought he looked the part. I thought Bill Mott had him set, ready to go. I would have been stunned if he lost the race. I wouldn't be stunned if Renegade lost the race. I think you can look at Commandment coming out of the Florida Derby. I think people look at that as being a key race. If you want to look for a little bit, the 2 others that finished behind him that day, the Puma got nosed out right at the wire. He's a live horse going into the race tomorrow afternoon. Chief Wallaby, lightly raced for Bill Mott, but an improving one who's been training up a storm on the track in the mornings out at Churchill Downs. That's another one to keep a look at. So happy. I know a lot of people like him coming out of the Santa Anita Derby and the way that he was able to finish for the ageless Mike Smith, who's going to be his jockey on Saturday. So you can make an argument, Tom, when you look at it, for probably 5, 6, 7 horses that potentially could win the race. I'm going to still stick with the morning line favorite, even with him breaking from the rail.
Which we haven't seen happen, I think, since 2018 with Justify, where the morning favorite actually won the race. And, in fact, I'm looking at a note here. The past 5 Kentucky Derby winners did not win in their final prep race either. So it does feel like it's a little bit of a wide open field, as well. I don't know. Do those trends mean anything to you? Do you try to look at the race completely independently, or do you look at a trend like that and say, favorites have not done well recently, at least in terms of winning?
Well, and sometimes, and that's fair. Well, I mean, then there's a difference between being a morning line favorite when the gates open up as well, right? So sometimes a horse could be a morning line favorite, and then obviously the odds and swing, right? I mean, Journalism a year ago ran a winning race. He just got run down by Sovereignty, who was forgotten at the windows at 7-1, who went off 7-1 last Run for the Roses a year ago. So I don't necessarily look at that all that much. Pletcher's had a lot of horses run the Kentucky Derby. Has not had a lot of numbers over the years. Is not won the race with great regularity. Irad Ortiz is a world-class jockey. There's no question about it. To me, I'm just looking at the horse more so than anything else. And if I look at the Arkansas Derby and think that is the most visually impressive, and you look at the Beyer speed figures and it does fit, and you think that he can get the 1.25 mile distance, and then you look at it breaking from the rail, it's not necessarily going to hurt him because he was going to be coming from off the pace to begin with. Now he's going to need luck to begin with. So That the trends to me don't really necessarily lean me one way or the other in terms of what I decide to do when the gates or before the gates open up on Saturday evening.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He's a closer. He's known to be a closer anyway. So that type of horse, all you got to do is not be pinned to that rail, near the end of the race. So he gets himself in the right position, then he's going to be able to, run those guys down. At least that's the way it seems like he runs. All right, finally, 3 horses scratched. I don't seem to remember that they automatically replace those horses. So it's going to be a 20-horse field no matter what. 3 horses get scratched. They put 3 other horses in there. A couple of them are 50 to 1, one's 25 to 1. If you're now talking to my listeners and they want to throw a little something on a longer shot and throw a couple of dollars into one, give me a couple of names that they might like that are in the longer range there, in the teens or into the 20s maybe.
Yeah, I would look outside. I didn't see what the latest scratch was, but a full effort, the 20 at 20 to 1 on the morning line for Brad Cox. Coming out of the Jeff Ruby Stakes on synthetic. Now, there's a little bit of a rejection here in terms of the horse historically is run on turf and synthetic. He's going to be running on dirt on Saturday. Now, has been working well on the Churchill Downs surface. Doesn't necessarily mean because he's working well, he's going to run well when the gates open up. But you're getting 20 to 1 out of Liam's map, out of an Awesome Again mare. Distance should not be an issue. And I think you're going to get all of that 20 to 1 when you're looking at the 20 full effort for Brad Cox. The other one that I would throw in would be the 15 Emerging Market at 15 to 1 on the morning line for Chad Brown and for Flavion Pratt. Flavion Pratt has had remarkable success of his horses running in the money in the Kentucky Derby as of late. And you look at it, lightly raced 3-year-old. This is just going to be his 3rd start. But when you're looking at his speed figures, they do fit. Coming out of Louisiana Derby, in which he won a battle, and was able to win right at the wire. But, basically the last 1/8 of a mile, it was a battle between 2 horses, and he was able to do it out of Candy Ride, out of an Empire Maker mare. Mile and a quarter won't be a distance. I don't think Chad Brown would bring the 3-year-old here on Saturday if he didn't think Emerging Market had an opportunity. And you're going to get 15 to 1. It's a tremendous jockey trainer combination. I mentioned Flavion Pratt has had a lot of success in the Kentucky Derby. And I think this is a really lightly raced, talented 3-year-old in Emerging Market. So I'd give you the 15 and I'd give you the 20 as 2 horses, double-digit odds, I think can outrun their odds on Saturday.
If it is Renegade, will they continue to run them? I mean, we've had this thing. I don't know if they've stretched out the schedule at all to kind of get so we can get this Triple Crown thing, because we're getting horses that win at the Derby and then they don't run again, and it's just we need that Triple Crown to really get the excitement going. What do you think about that?
Yeah, Tom, I think, and last year, Bill Mott, and really got to understand the goal for Godolphin, who is successful worldwide, was to finally win a Kentucky Derby. And that was the owner of the winner a year ago in Sovereignty. So do I think Renegade, if he comes out of the race healthy, for Pletcher and Mike Rapoli, obviously a big-time player, college basketball with St. John's, in this NIL world, and owns a ton of horses and is big on the NYRA circuit.
UFL. Don't forget the UFL. He's got the football league too now.
That's true. You're right about that. I saw him on ESPN promoting that a couple weeks ago. But I think Mike Rapoli, as long as the horse is healthy, and I think the horse has got to lead the way, I think would continue forward if Renegade was to be victorious on Saturday. But it's the greatest 2 minutes of sports, Tom. It's an unbelievable day. It really is. You're going to get wall-to-wall racing. You got the Oaks today, later on tonight, under the lights, in prime time on NBC. Can't wait for that. And I think Zany's got an opportunity to win that for Rapoli as well. But if Renegade were to be victorious, I do think they would push ahead as long as the horse is healthy to the Preakness.
I always say this about the most exciting 2 minutes in sports. And I love it. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It's great. These, especially these Triple Crown races. But to me now, the most exciting 2 minutes in sports, 1-goal hockey game with the goalie pulled. I mean, to me, that's the most. You mean to pull a goalie with 1:48 to go in a game, a playoff game especially.
That's great.
That's the most exciting 2 minutes in sports is the goalie pulled in a hockey game.
Tom, I listen, that's an exciting time as well, but you're talking to a ponies guy, and I know you like the ponies as well. Like, there's not many dates where, thoroughbred racing draws the attention of the American sports fan. And today, to a certain extent, but more importantly, tomorrow, it clearly does. And the Triple Crown season, it does. So I'm looking forward to it. You're no doubt. Listen, you got to allow the thoroughbred fan to have at least a one day, but I don't disagree with you. You're down a goal late, playoff game, elimination game. You pull the goalie, all of a sudden it's 6-on-5, and you're trying to score a goal late to force overtime. No doubt about it. That is fantastic. And that's why we love sports.
Is the Belmont back at Belmont Park this year? Are they back at
Belmont? No, it's going to be back up at Saratoga this year, and it's going to be back at Belmont the following year. I think Belmont is set to open with their new grandstand this fall.
Okay. All right. Appreciate you as always. I had to use you for other stuff, when we want to go up north. Mark Malusis has been our guest at WFAN and SNY in New York, and obviously very, very proficient in this. Appreciate you as always, Mark. Good stuff.
You got it, Tom. Good luck tomorrow. Cash some tickets. Don't trash them. All right?
All right, brother. Appreciate it. All right. There you go. It's a good dude right there, man. I mean, Eric, I always love when you get somebody on that really knows their stuff in their discipline. You just listen to that guy talk, and he's talking about this and mile and quarter and this works that. It's good stuff, man. All right, we get a break. When we come back, let's open her up to the phones. You want to jump on board? You can jump on board. Here's a thought. Just want to throw this out there. Baseball expansion is coming. We know that is coming. We also know that Nashville is very high on the list. There's going to be two teams, and I think one will be out west, and then one will be, in the south or in the south. You could say in the east, if Montreal is a player in it. But there's going to be, I think they're going to split it, both parts of the country. Nashville is very much got their stuff together, very much in the mix for this thing. So there's two things, though, that have come up. There's a lot of chatter about that Nashville is in Middle Tennessee is Braves country. North Alabama, Braves country. This is all Braves country in the Southeast. How would that play with a team in Nashville? Does it become Stars country? Do people only go to see games in Nashville to see the other team playing, to go to the Cubs game, to go to the Cardinals game? Nashville is a melting pot city now, very much like Atlanta, Miami. And when you go to a baseball game in those places, you see an incredible number of fans for the other team. And you wonder about, like with the Titans, they went through this for years. We're now just getting to the point. Predators were the same way. Now just getting to the point where there's a generation of young people that all they know is the Tennessee Titans. That the Tennessee Titans, they grew up, they were born into Titan territory, and that's it. But you've got families, like my grandsons are Browns fans because their dad is a Browns fan, and because their grandfather is a Browns fan, and their great-grandfather is a Browns fan, and their great-great-grandfather was a Browns fan. So that's like the family team. So they don't really, relate to the Titans necessarily, even though they are Tennesseans. Those kids are born and raised in Tennessee. Okay? Western New York, long before there was a Buffalo Bills, all of Western New York was Browns country. That's where we got all the Browns games and everything else, even after the AFL started and there was the Buffalo Bills. So now a lot of Western New York is Bills fans. A lot of the younger people in Western New York, certainly, Bills fans. Bills have been around for 50, 60 years now. So they're Bills fans. But there's still a heavy contingent of Browns fans because that was the closest NFL team. Not the Giants. It'd take you 5.5, 6 hours to get to Yankee Stadium to see the Giants play, or Giants Stadium once they move there. I mean, you're only 4 hours in Western New York. You were only 4 hours from Cleveland. If you were in the Buffalo area, you were only 3 hours from Cleveland. So that was all Browns country. So Tennessee is considered Braves country. What if a baseball team comes there? All right. What if there's Nashville Stars? What happens then? Do you only go to those games to see the other team? Can you flip your allegiance? You ever go to a Titans game when the Steelers or the Cowboys? What was all of this? North Alabama, the Tennessee Valley, Tennessee. I would argue this was Cowboys country. There was always this kindred spirit between Tennessee and Texas. This was all Cowboys country. And there's still tons of Cowboys fans. And if the Cowboys, whenever the Cowboys play in Nashville, it's a Cowboys game. Whenever the Steelers play there, the Steelers travel like that everywhere. It's like a Steelers home game. Terrible towels and everything else. I mean, it's crazy. So the question is, you remember back in the day when going to a Preds game when they were playing the Detroit Red Wings or the Chicago Blackhawks? They would do a Get the Red Out promotion, and they would block people from buying tickets that had from those area codes and everything else. You'd go see the Red Wings and the Preds play, and it was like a Red Wings game. It's like a home game. It's crazy. So that stuff is changing. But what if there was Major League Baseball? I mean, it's Reds country, it's Cardinals country, it's Braves country. So I'm going to react to that as well. All right, we'll come back with more right after this. It's the Thom Abraham Show.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Atlanta Braves dropped their series finale to the Detroit Tigers. Are on the road today at the Rockies. Grant Holmes on the hill for Atlanta, $1.99 favorite. Jose Quintana for the Rockies plus 163. The total 10.5 over at Coors Field in Denver. Alabama hosting Vanderbilt in Tuscaloosa. The Crimson Tide $1.25 favorite over the Commodores. Auburn plus 130 at Texas A&M. UAB laying $1.95 against Rice. Jacksonville State minus 105 against Missouri State. Danny Hamlin, the 4-1 favorite to win the Cup race this week at Texas, and Renegade 5-1 to win the Kentucky Derby. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
When you're craving a juicy, made-to-order burger with all your favorite toppings, it's time to head to Five Guys Burgers and Fries. Fresh, never-frozen, hand-formed patties, crispy, fresh-cut fries, savory hot dogs, and topped off with an ice-cold real milkshake. Five Guys knows what you like. Come and get it in Huntsville on North Parkway and on Enterprise, and in Madison on Moonshot Drive and Highway 72. Order online at fiveguys.com or just walk in. Five Guys. Perfection every time. Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com. Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Forgiveness. Wow, what a word. What a gift. All of us have done things in our lives that we regret. All of us have done things that are disobedient. All of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Thank God for his forgiveness. Thank God that he separates our sins as far as the east is from the west and remembers them no more. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor at Cross Point Church, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. Check us out at cpcfamily.org.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. We'll be talking about a little bit of rain, maybe a couple of rumbles of thunder as we head into the overnight. Temperatures dropping into the upper 40s, lower 50s. A partly sunny to mostly cloudy sky Saturday afternoon, though it is going to be quite cool for early May. Temperatures only climbing into the mid-60s. A mostly sunny sky for your Sunday. Again, temperatures climbing into the mid-60s.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This segment of the Tom Abraham Show is brought to you by the Golfist, Huntsville's newest, coolest, and only multi-location indoor golf venue where you bring your own gear. Use the Golfist to play over 2,000 courses from around the world, including that one in Georgia that kicks off the majors. Plus, the Golfist is a great place to dial in your game or have an office event or private party. Their third location in the Valley is coming to Hughes Road in Madison soon. Visit thegolfist.com for more info. That's GOLFFICE, thegolfist.com. I wonder whose song that is. Single greatest fight song in the history of college sports. It is. Give me a little of that right now. Pop it up. There you go. I mean, if you're gonna play the preamble, you gotta have that part of it in. Gotta have the flutes. It is. It's the best victory song. It's the best fight song in college football. I put that one number 1. I put Hail to the Victors number 2. I put Yale, Alabama number 3. I put the USC number 4. There's something I have not been able to find since I had the I had a CD that had these great. That's how long ago it was. It was a CD. I had a CD, and it had like great college fight songs. It only had like 10 or 12 of them on there. And one of the things it had on it was the preamble to the Minnesota Gopher fight song. And I think it was called the Minnesota Rouser. And it's incredible. I mean, but it's like the preamble to the Minnesota Gopher fight song called the Minnesota Rouser. And it's pretty much all percussion. It's unbelievable. It's really, really good. And I haven't been able to find it since. Now, I haven't spent an enormous amount of time looking for it since, but I haven't been able to find that, since. All right, so I ask you guys. We'll start with you, John. Now, see, that's the Minnesota Gopher fight song. Yeah, that's their fight song. There's something they do called, I think, is that called the Minnesota Rouser or no?
Yes.
Well, there's a preamble to that. Maybe if you put in preamble, Minnesota Rouser preamble, something, it was just absolutely ridiculous. I personally hate going to see the Bruins play at the Preds, or going to see the Browns play at the Titans, or going to see the Yankees play at the Braves. Because if I'm going to make the effort to go to a Braves game, I'm going to pull for the Braves. I'm going to pull for the Braves. And I'll pull for the Braves against everybody except for the Yankees. And if I'm going to the Titans game, now have I ever been to a Titans game? I mean, been to 60 Titans games in the press box, more probably. But I mean, in the stands, I'm trying to think. You guys went when the Browns were there.
Yeah, I went when the Browns were there, and then whenever the Bengals were there a few more years prior.
I didn't have anything to do with that one. I think I hooked you up with tickets for the Browns one. I didn't hook you up with tickets for the Bengals, did I? Was that a preseason game?
No, that was a real deal game. I was sitting in like the the Home Depot lounge area or something, and I could just get whatever I wanted, man. I was a kid in a candy shop. That was all for free.
It's a suite. So you were at the club level. I don't remember that. I remember you guys going to the Browns game and they had that ridiculous comeback in one with that play in the back of the end zone. Who was the quarterback then?
Brian Hoyer.
It was Hoyer. Okay. So if I go to a Titans game, I want to pull for the Titans. You know what I mean? When I go to a Titans game, I want to pull for the Titans. I don't want to be that guy in the visiting stadium. I want to be with my people. Now, again, when you guys went to the Browns game, I was in the press box and I got tickets for you guys were there in the stands. The report that I got from you guys were there were a ton of Browns fans there. There were Browns fans everywhere around you guys, all wearing jerseys and everything. But when I go to the game, I want to pull for the home team. I've seen the Bruins play, I think, twice in Nashville against the Preds, and I hated it because I've been to a ton of Preds games too and always pulled for the Preds. So I hate going there and pulling for the road team. So the question will be, what happens if Major League Baseball does end up in Nashville? You going to go there and pull for the road team? Is that what you're doing?
I'd begin watching baseball.
So you don't really pay attention much to baseball then, right? You wouldn't call yourself a baseball fan?
No.
So you don't really have a team, right?
Well, like the longest time, I should say I got a baseball hat like 4 years ago, so I claim I'm a fan of that team, and it's the Blue Jays, but I don't watch it.
Well, the Blue Jays. You'd be a team of a team. They didn't play in America, for God's sakes. Yeah, so you would become a Nashville Stars fan, and you would go to some games, and that would be a thing now.
Absolutely.
Okay. And I would go to games. I would absolutely go to games. I don't know that. And yes, would I make the hour and 15-minute drive to go up there and see them play the Yankees? Probably. But I wouldn't enjoy that as much as going up there and seeing them play the Cardinals or seeing them play the Cubs or seeing them play anybody else and competing against them. And the question is would they be an American League team? Now, I know that it doesn't matter anymore, and they might not even be in an American League. It might just be, they may call it American League, National League, but with all of the interleague play, once they get a balanced deal where there's 16 teams in each conference, each league, then it's probably not even going to matter very much who's in the American, who's in the National. I'd love to see them in a division with the Braves. But to go up there and see the Braves play the Stars, who am I pulling for? I've always pulled for the Braves if they're not playing the Yankees. So you guys that are Braves fans, nobody, you don't switch your allegiance, right? You can't just switch your allegiance. You could start liking that team, but whatever your childhood team is, that's your team. John, who's your favorite hockey team?
I'd say the Boston Bruins.
Yeah. And you're not like the biggest hockey fan ever. But if I sent you to a Preds game and they were playing anybody else, you would be all in on the Nashville Predators, right?
Yeah, they're my number 2, and then my number 3 is the Islanders.
So if the Preds were playing the Islanders, you'd be pulling for the Preds.
It depends if the Islanders are wearing their fisherman uniforms.
They don't ever wear that.
Okay. They should.
They don't wear that anymore. It's ridiculous. So I just don't know that you jump your allegiance. People do this sometimes with college teams, right? I mean, that was one of the things when I first got to Nashville in 2007. It was like all of a sudden I would become a Vols fan. Now, you know who did that? God love him. But like Joe Hunk, he was always an Auburn fan. I always knew Joe Hunk to be an Auburn fan.
Yeah, the guy was a fan of every place that he went to, honestly.
Anywhere he goes, he becomes a fan of that team. I'm like, what do you mean? You're an Auburn fan. Now he's a Vols fan. And now I probably think he's an Auburn fan again now. But when he was in Nashville, he was a Vols fan all of a sudden.
I bet he doesn't even like the Titans.
Oh, he loves the Titans. He loves the Titans. That's his team. And he's worked for them for years.
Chiefs, though, I wonder who he would go for.
Yeah, I thought he was always a Chiefs fan. Before he went to Nashville, he was a Chiefs fan through and through. It was all about the Chiefs. Then all of a sudden he became, you start working for the Titans and everything else, becomes a Titans fan. Now, I call myself a Titans fan, but it's not my number one team. I mean, I love the Titans. And all those years when I was covering the Titans and everything else and doing the stuff for CBSSports.com and stringing, from Titan games and going, it was a great story. When they're playing well, that's great. I hope to be at the first game in the new stadium next year in 2027. Kind of hope to be. I was thinking about, I think I want to be at the last game. I used to love going to camp. They don't really, I don't know if they do that much anymore. We used to broadcast 9 straight days of the show from camp during practice. When I was afternoon drive in Nashville, 3 to 6, Titans used to practice at 3. And we were set up. Our tent was right next to the door to the locker room. So guys would come in the tent when they were leaving the field, hang out with us, come on the air. I'd have to record Bassmaster Radio sometimes from there. And Vince Young would hear me talking about bass fishing, and he's from Texas, and he loved himself some bass fishing. He'd come and sit down. He'd use a towel and make it like it was a fishing pole, like he was casting, but he was using a towel. I miss that. But I don't think you get that kind of access anymore. I'm not sure that happens. All right, speaking of the NFL has started now to assign the crews the replacement referees. I don't look. I'm 1,000%, not 1,000. I'm about 98% sure that they are going to get the referees are going to accept this deal, and we're going to have regular refs when the season starts. I'm not one. Everybody keeps going back to 2012. My goodness, it was 14 years ago. We're not going to have the Fail Mary again. We're not going to have JV high school referees trying to referee NFL games. First of all, we got the technology up the yin-yang, and with the eye in the sky and all the angles and everything else, they're going to fix everything. You're not going to have a horrific call like you had in that Seattle Packers game in the end zone. There'll be a guy talking in that referee's ear so fast as that'll spin. No, that was an interception. I mean, it'll just be like, no, that was a catch. It'll be, they'll deal with that stuff immediately. These officials are playing with fire right now. They are playing with fire right now. They're making the average is $385,000 a year in 2025. I had no idea. They're making $385,000 a year on average. They want to keep their jobs. They don't want to be full-time. They want to keep their jobs. The NFL is saying, look, if you're underperforming, we want to put you into spring league. We want you to do this. We want you to do that. It's a $385,000 a year gig. You make that your gig. But on top of them just requiring a little bit of accountability, a little bit of increased accountability, shortening the dark period of the off season, having these guys, having this be more of a year-round gig, not a gig where you did, okay, games are over, a week later you're gone, and, you may be off for 6 months, 5 months, 4 months, 3 months. Doesn't matter. Who gets it? They want to shorten the off-season period, younger officials working in the spring games, making sure that you've got officials at practice all the time, things like that, without extra money. It's a $385,000 a year gig. But this is what they're offering them, too. A 6-year contract with a 6.45% annual increase per year, which is an oxymoron when I say per year. Let me ask you a question. Who out there is getting a 6.45% increase every year in their salary?
I get a decrease.
And you get a decrease because you haven't gotten a COLA, a cost of living increase. I haven't gotten a COLA. I can determine my income because I'm a percentage taker. I'll just go sell something, get another sponsor. But wait, how many of those of you that are on regular salary jobs get a 6.5% increase per year every year? Isn't the usual increase like 3%? And I know that inflation's running higher than that right now, but $385,000 a year. They're not requiring you to be full-time. They're going to give you a 6.5% annual bump. I mean, it's crazy. They want to reduce the seniority-based playoff assignments. The union demands seniority-based playoff assignments. They want to give playoff assignments based on performance. Oh, there's a crazy theory. You mean performance? You mean the better guys get the better games? What? They want to enforce pay for performance. They want to change the job structure. They want to use spring leagues to retrain the lower performing officials. The contract expires at the end of this month now. Now it's May. The contract expires at the end of the month. At some point, the officials they better be careful what they ask for. They better be careful what they ask for. Because there are guys out there that will officiate these games for $200,000, $250,000. And you know what? They'd stay in shape. And they would be okay for performance, being graded on performance. And it would be okay with getting playoff assignments based on performance. Things like that. Now, I have never been a fan of them using officials, putting like an all-star team together, a group of officials together for playoffs. This guy's a great umpire. This guy's a great side judge. This guy's a great back judge. This guy's a great referee. I don't like that. I think that should be as a crew. I think crews should stick together in the playoffs. I think they should be graded together. Weakest link drags down the whole crew. If you got a great crew, that crew should then move on and work playoff games. But, this issue of the 385 GUR average. That means there are officials that are making well into the 400s. There are guys that are making 300s. There are guys that are making 280. And there are guys that are making 450. Average is 385. 6.5. The union, the referees union is demanding a 10% annual increase. Yeah. Where are you getting a 10% annual increase in, real life? Not seeing that. All right, let's grab a break. We'll come back with a final segment right after this. It's the Thom Abraham Show.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loaders from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best. And this machine has it all, with features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Thompson Tractor knows how much value you place on your customer satisfaction. It's how you build your business. It's also how we build ours. Since 1957, hardworking folks like you have counted on Thompson to provide the absolute best lineup of equipment in the industry, all backed by a customer service and product support team that time and again have proven to be second to none. It's all about maintaining peak performance. Always has been, always will be. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
Hey folks, Arthur Seed, managing partner at University Kia, letting you know we are proud supporters of Alabama and Auburn football. Swing by University Kia today and check out our huge selections of brand new Kias, including the spacious Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the slick new K5, the sporty Kia Seltos. We've got perfect cars for every lifestyle and budget. Visit universitykia.com to view all our amazing offers and get pre-approved amenities, because we want to see you in a Kia. Roll Tide, War Eagle.
These days, saving time is important, and saving money is even more so. That's where Eagle Masonry and Insulation comes in. Over the years, Eagle has expanded their services to meet the needs of folks like you in our area. Taking care of your property yourself can be a real headache. Eagle can handle it for you. They offer full landscaping services, irrigation, mowing, bush hog, and can install plants and trees, sod, and even landscape borders. Call Eagle Masonry and Insulation today at 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time, and Eagle saves you money.
Your Rocket City Trash Pandas are back for 6 games, April 28th through May 3rd. Promotions include a James Spann bobblehead giveaway on the 28th, post-game fireworks to close out the night on the 1st and the 2nd, and kids run the bases after the game on the 3rd. Get your tickets and learn more about weekly promos by visiting tptix.com. That's tptix.com.
The Orthopedic Center. It's in the name. TOC, the premier choice for all your orthopedic needs. With over 40 physicians and 20 centers of excellence, TOC is the name to trust for complete, expert orthopedic care. And that word center, we mean it. With more than a dozen locations across North Alabama and the Tennessee Valley, TOC is in your community whenever you need us. As the state's largest orthopedic practice, TOC is built on trust. Trust we've earned with every patient we serve. You can see that trust on the field, too. As the official sports medicine provider for the Huntsville Havoc, Huntsville City Football Club, Oakwood and Alabama A&M universities, thousands of athletes and coaches count on TOC to keep them in the game. From student athletes to unexpected injuries, our urgent ortho clinics offer prompt, expert care. No appointment necessary. So remember, when it comes to your health and mobility, trust the name that says it all. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly cloudy sky this afternoon. Temperatures only climbing into the mid and upper 60s. Quite cool for the first day of May. We're going to be talking about a little bit of rain that'll move in this evening, and then we'll talk about a little more rain through the overnight early into your Saturday morning. Temperatures drop into the mid and upper 40s. A partly sunny sky Saturday afternoon. Temperatures only climb into the mid 60s.
Your Fox 54 weather. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Thom Abraham here for my friends at All About Water, LLC. Look, those spring and summer rains are going to hit at some point, and when they do, you need Ryan at All About Water to help you deal with keeping it away from your foundation or doing damage on your property. Now, his background is in fluid dynamics, and that assures you that they can handle any job, including building and maintaining a pond or any other sort of water feature. Learn more at allaboutwaterllc.com. That's allaboutwaterllc.com. Now, see, Dr. Carter over at TOC is listening, and I love it. Give me a little more of that. See, Florida State does it best because of the percussion in the background. See, they got a little bit. You got the war chant going. You see what I'm saying, John? But you hear in the background, in between there, they've got how they use the percussion. But this is not a fight song, right? So Dr. Carter says, come on, the FSU war chant has to be a top 10 fight song, right? I mean, both the Chiefs and the Braves copied it. No, the war chant that's not the Florida State fight song. See, there's two different things. We're talking about fight song. So it's like USC, right? They got that thing that USC. You ever been to a USC game? I mean, it just annoys you to no end because they after every first down, they play this. At first, it's cool. But then they and they got the victory thing going there and they do that there, and they're all wearing their glasses, they're Wayfarers. But that's not a fight song. That's just a sounder that they're doing there. That's like the war chant. The war chant is really cool. They tried to stop it. Are they still doing? They're still doing it at the Braves, I think. They tried to stop the chop. Remember but they got the chop house. Because they want to try to get rid of all the Native American imagery and all that kind of stuff. But the Chiefs do it, and and FSU was the originator of it, I believe, and the Braves do it. But that's a chant. That's not their fight song. I don't even know what Florida State's fight song is, but that's not their fight song. It's like Alabama doing Rammer Jammer at the end of a game or whatever. It's something. It's Tennessee with Rocky Top. Oh my gosh! You leave a Tennessee game if they've scored it all, done anything, and they've been scoring for the last since Josh Heupel got there. You leave a Tennessee game, and that thing is just all night long. That's all you can hear is Rocky Top over and over and over again. So, but that's not their fight song. That's not their actual fight song. So, Dr. Carter, that's the distinction there on that. I appreciate you listening. Great docs at TOC, Orthopedic Center. For all your orthopedic needs, it's TOC. All right, this one's in the hopper. Week is in the hopper. Enjoy the weekend. Watch a little bit watch the Pucks tonight, man. Big night of Pucks. Check all that good stuff out. We will reconvene on Monday. Until then, have a great weekend, everybody.